Good evening. In today's session, let's discuss a topic: climate change and solar energy. We know what exactly is climate change and what are the ill effects of climate change, and how exactly the solar energy can be useful for mitigating the ill effects of climate change. This is what we are going to discuss in today's session, and this topic falls under environment. As you all know, maybe for the civil services examination or at the state level, we have a subject called environment, and from this particular subject, a good number of questions are being asked both at the preliminary as well as the mains level. And I have framed a question on climate change and solar energy. First, let's look at the question and then we'll try to answer this question. Kindly remember, questions are in the examination, the questions are really, we cannot expect. That is the reason why it is always better to prepare the subject in different angles, so that whatever may be the question that is asked in the examination, you will be in a position to answer it effortlessly. Look at this. So this is the question on the screen. Explain how solar power would play in arresting the ills of climate change. First, look at the question very carefully. You are asked to explain about something, and that something is related to solar power, and what exactly is the role of solar power in arresting the ill effects of the climate change. So we know what is climate change, we also know what is solar energy, and we also know what are the effects of the climate change, and we are all experiencing, entire globe is experiencing. That is the reason why you have to take measures to arrest these ill effects. That is possible by using the technology, that is possible by adopting new methods and methodologies. And one such method is the going for solar energy, which is a clean and green energy. Please look at the question carefully once again. Explain how solar power would play in arresting the ills of climate change. So role of solar power in mitigating, reducing, decreasing the ill effects of climate change. This is what exactly you are supposed to write in the examination. Clear? And of course, this will be like, between 200, 250 and 300 words, and we'll try to write it. In order to write answer for this question, you should know what is climate change. You should also know why solar power is important. Next, you should also know the advantages of solar power. Then only we can write the exact answer, how exactly the solar power will mitigate the ill effects of the climate change. Right? Number 4, how solar energy will arrest the climate change. And finally, you are going for the conclusion. Conclusion should be a positive one, so that what will happen? We are going to emphasize the ill effects are going to be reduced, and we are going to protect the environment. We are going to protect the earth with our new technologies and new methodologies. Clear? So now you have looked at the question, and in order to answer this question, what you are supposed to know, right? So these points I have already discussed with you, but some points for you before we begin. Climate change is disturbing, yes or no? It is very much disturbing. That is the reason why, so we are all facing this environmental degradation. And when it comes to solar power, this is stabilizing. So climate change is disturbing and solar power is stabilizing. So here I want you to be very clear with the difference between weather and climate. So most of the people in general, they think both are same, but both are not same. Both are not same. Please remember very, very clearly. Clear? Many times I saw, people are using the words weather and climate interchangeably. No, that is very much wrong. Clear? So being studious students who are preparing very seriously for the higher level examinations at the central and state levels, you have to be very clear with all these fundamentals. Clear? Just remember very clearly, when it comes to weather, that is for the short term. When it comes to climate, this is related to this refers to the long term changes with respect to temperature, humidity, etc. Clear? Now look at this. When it comes to climate, it refers to the long term regional or global average of temperature, humidity and rainfall patterns over seasons, years or decades. So this is a long term phenomenon. So whenever we say climate change, so these temperature variations, these the humidity variations or the rainfall variations, these are occurring for a long period of time. Clear? So this will be over years and decades. Then only we are calling it as a climate, and that climate is changing very very drastically, and that is causing lots of negative effects on the people. Clear? And who made all these mistakes? Whose mistake is this? So this is the mistake of the people. That is the reason why entire world is realizing now, and now we want to arrest this climate change. Clear? Now look at this. So let's start writing the answer. You remember the question, right? The weather can change in just a few hours, right? That is the reason why, so we get daily a weather report that can change in just a few hours, but climate changes over long time frames. Climate change is a significant variation of average weather conditions becoming, for example, warmer, wetter or drier over several decades or longer. It is the longer term trend that differentiates climate change from natural weather variability. So there is a difference between natural weather variability and climate change. Clear? So when it comes to weather, so it can change within few hours. Fine. And if it continues for long period, for years and decades, then we call it as climate change. Clear? So this is the beginning of our answer. Look at this. How exactly the solar power is going to play a very significant role in arresting the ills of the climate change. Right? Now look at this. Sun is a powerful source of energy, and it can be properly utilized by installing solar energy. The benefits are clean and green energy. For example, if you look at the fossil fuels, of course the reserves are getting exhausted very fastly. But otherwise also, if you look at any country in the world, even today including India, large number of countries are getting energy from the fossil fuels. For example, out of the total energy that is being generated in India, 49%, I repeat, 49% is contributed by the coal. Right? So meaning these are the fossil fuels, and this is causing lots of pollution. So there is an air pollution, and there are so many ill effects with air pollution that is leading to health disorders among so many people, and that is becoming fatal. Am I clear? Right? So this we have discussed in the earlier class also. But when it comes to solar energy or renewable energy, this is clean and green. Clear? And it is not dependent on energy sources. Sun we get every day, right? Sun, right? Since our childhood we are reading, we know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So whenever sun shines, so we have the technology to grab that power, to grab that energy. Clear? And it is a non-maintenance. There is no necessity of any maintenance. It is renewable. Unlike fossil fuels which are non-renewable, sun is renewable. meaning every day we can generate, electricity through the sun. Electricity bill reduction, etc., are considered to be the benefits of this solar energy. India aims for 500 gigawatt renewable energy installed capacity by the year 2030. This point also I have discussed with you very, very recently. That is the reason why whenever you are learning something, you make those points very, very strong. Alright? Just because I have discussed these points under some other area, it does not mean that you cannot use those points here. That is the reason why, comprehensive approach is really very, very, very important. Clear? So India aims for 500 gigawatt of renewable energy installed capacity by the year 2030. Please don't forget this one. And as I told you, when you are writing any data, when you are writing any facts, when you are writing the years, you have to mention correctly. Clear? And let's not expect that the evaluator will ignore this. Definitely not. If there is a small mistake also, that will lead to the reduction of the total. Clear? Fine. India is also aiming to become an exporter of green energy by the year 2047. Clear? By the year 2047, India wants to export its green energy. Now look at this. India needs to shift to solar power due to three issues. So there is a strong demand that India should go for green energy, India should go for solar energy because of three strong reasons. What are they? One, the country is likely to account for 25% of the global energy demand growth over the next 2 decades. We are increasing. Our population is increasing, demands are increasing, and the energy demands will also increase. And these are the figures at the global level. Clear? Number two, there is a rampant air pollution, emphasizes the need for cleaner energy sources. Right? As I told you, when you are using these fossil fuels, so that is leading to lots of pollution, and that is causing lots of air pollution that is affecting all the living beings on the earth, not just human beings. Clear? So obviously, so you have to reduce your dependence on fossil fuels so that you can reduce the air pollution levels. For this reason, you need to go for renewable energy, and that is possible through the solar energy. Number three, declining groundwater levels and decreasing annual rainfall. So if there is huge rainfall, we have the reservoirs, we can store the waters, and from there we can generate the electricity, that is called hydroelectricity. But rainfall is coming down, groundwater levels are going down. That is the reason why, so you have to look for various alternatives. Am I clear? And solar energy is one such alternative. Clear? Another important point, right? By shifting towards renewable energy sources like solar energy, India enhances its energy security. Number one, reducing reliance on volatile fossil fuel markets, and important one, mitigating the risks associated with the energy scarcity. Additionally, coming to the real point now, the adoption of renewable energy technologies helps in curing air pollution, thereby improving public health and reducing healthcare cost. Very, very, very important. So whatever the topic we have discussed, that is related to climate change and its ill effects. In order to reduce and mitigate those ill effects of the climate change, how solar energy can be used. That is the reason why India has to invest more in solar energy. That is the reason why I have shown you the target of India by the year 2030, target of India by the year 2047. If it is adopted properly, implemented properly, then that is going to reduce the air pollution drastically, and that will save our money, which we spend for our healthcare systems. Am I clear? Very, 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 very important. So if you write the answer like this, so you will be getting good marks in the examination. Am I clear? So like this, we will be discussing various topics, during our current affairs classes, and I wish you all a very, very good luck. As I told you, in the description box, you have, you know, uh, a link with respect to downloading our app. Please download that app, and I also want you to follow me through the Telegram channel. The link is also given in the description, so that if you are following me, you will be given the updates from time to time. Thank you so much, and I wish you all very, very good luck, and see you in the next class.